Ladies and gentlemen, what have I been telling you, for years, well, for about a year and a half, or 2 years on this channel, since the Durham probe started? I said it was going to be very important for President Trump, for the country. It eventually turned into a special counsel. It is a special counsel just like the Mueller probe. So you can roll your eyes and say, oh, nothing's ever going to happen. But it is a special counsel, and it's heating up. They already indicted 2 people. You're not going to indict James Comey or Clapper or Brennan immediately. It might not ever happen. It could happen. Comey could get indicted from this. He, under oath, stated that Loretta Lynch told him to call it a matter, the Clinton email probe. Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, stated that's not true under oath. She said she never told that to James Comey. That's just one example of all the players, the cast of characters in this saga, stating under oath that the other person lied. No, you lied. No, you lied. Then you have this attorney Sussman, this lawyer at the Clinton-linked law firm, which they're almost certainly, Durham is almost certainly getting ready to issue. Well, he's already issuing more subpoenas, but he'll probably indict more people because there are other people that worked with Sussman. It wasn't just that one man. Okay, he's probably at the bottom of the hierarchy when it comes to all of this in that law firm. Okay, they always go and get the low-hanging fruit first and foremost. They fabricated everything with Trump-Russia, and with the Durham probe, they actually have crimes that they're looking at. It is a crime to investigate an incoming presidential candidate. It is a crime to investigate your direct political rival and fabricate intelligence or make up and conjure up this fantasy that he worked with Trump-Russia. That is, I explain that, and there's a legal statute in particular, but I explain in a Federalist article, John Durham needs to investigate why the info generating the Mueller probe is all linked to Hillary Clinton. That's one article I wrote, and you can go to hagoodman.com and read my writing on the Durham probe, or you can go to my Federalist author page. And I write, Comey and McCabe should be charged with conspiring to defraud Americans. That is a specific legal statute, 18 U.S. Code 371. They knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that Trump shouldn't have been investigated. They did so because they wanted retribution, because he won, and they wanted to save face, and they were mortified. And then, the Mueller probe started because of Comey's memos, and the whole deal. The Steele dossier was purchased by the DNC and Clinton through this law firm. And so now you have CNN and Fox News and everybody talking. Durham issues fresh round of subpoenas in his continuing probe of the FBI investigation. Fox News, Durham targets Clinton campaign law firm in fresh round of subpoenas. So the fresh round is the phrase that's going around now. But hit subscribe to this channel. Be here tonight around 7 p.m. Pacific for the live stream. I have a fantastic segment on the stock market crash channel. Check that out. It is below in the pinned comment. I'll do 4 segments every day on the stock market crash channel. I did a segment on the dangers of margin trading, and especially margin trading on mobile apps like Robinhood. The stock market is going to crash and tank, and the downward spiral is going to lead to billions of dollars in margin calls throughout the country. Hundreds and millions, billions of dollars if you add hedge funds. And there was a $30 billion hedge fund with Archegos, the hedge fund that went under earlier this year. Imagine, you think you're having a bad day. How about a $30 billion margin call? But nobody should be trading on margin, and nobody should be trading on margin on Robinhood or any mobile app, especially when we already know the economy is inflated like a balloon and about to burst. or the stock market is, I should say, from $10 trillion, $6 trillion in fiscal stimulus, and $3.3 trillion and counting in monetary stimulus from quantitative easing. Anyway, go to the Stock Market Crash channel. It's below in the pinned comment. Tell your friends about that channel. If you like my work, the best thing you could do for me is tell your friends about the Stock Market Crash channel. And I think it'll help people. I really do. So, could help save people a great deal of money. Ladies and gentlemen, the Durham probe is a special counsel, like I said. People are expecting Rome to be built in a day. It ain't going to happen. And the best thing that could take place is if the Durham probe lasts well into 2022 and then 2023. So House Republicans are going to take over the House of Representatives, or the Trump Republicans, I should say, are going to take over the House of Representatives in 2022. Once that happens, it's a completely new ballgame. Once that happens, it's a completely new ballgame. And you have further investigations. Look, there are articles now. Where was it? Like, I took a screenshot of this, so the New York Times always asks you to subscribe or, pay for their. Trump server mystery produces fresh conflict. Fresh is the word of the day, I guess. Oh, really, New York Times? A Trump server mystery produces a fresh conflict. You couldn't say that the Durham probe is indicted somebody because they fabricated the whole Alpha Bank nonsense. The servers they went after weren't even Clinton's with top secret intelligence on them. The servers they went after was a server that in Trump Tower, or the Trump organization was using, that they say had ties to a Russian bank, when it was a Russian bank with ties to the Kremlin who gave Bill Clinton $500,000 in speaking fees. I mean, the whole thing is convoluted. There's so, you would have to be ignorant of politics to think, which is why, New York Times readers have no understanding of the Steele dossier, the fact it was purchased, the fact that it was complete nonsense from the very beginning, the fact that Clinton and President Obama and Biden and Democrats went after their direct political rivals, which is what they impeached Trump over. Now they're saying, listen to this, it's okay if they were looking for dirt on Trump, because the whole point is finding dirt, and if it's true, it's true. It doesn't matter if there's a political bias. So why'd you impeach Trump? Anyway, a recent indictment suggested that researchers who found strange internet links between a Russian bank and the Trump organization did not really believe their own work. They are pushing back. There weren't strange internet links between a Russian bank and Trump. Want to know, and the Trump organization. Want to know how we know? We have a $30 billion budget on the three agencies that were either highly to moderately confident. The FBI, Brennan, Comey, and the National Security Agency have a $30 billion budget. $30 billion. If Trump was using the internet, or if there were servers in the Trump organization that were contacting Alpha Bank or Russian Bank, and committing all these criminal acts, we would know. We wouldn't need a Clinton-linked law firm to let the country know. So it's pretty obvious. If it was the reverse, a Trump-linked law firm that purchased a dossier on Biden, you would never. They won't even look at Hunter's emails, like the actual laptop he left at a drunken stupor. They won't even look at that. So if the tables were turned, they would never stand for a Trump-linked law firm that purchased a dossier on either Hillary or Bill or Biden or anyone. But see, when morally superior Democrats engage in the most despicable behavior, it's okay. Because they have every reason to distrust Trump, even though they can't indict him or charge him for Trump Russia, for Zelensky, which never happened. He never pressured anybody. Even President Zelensky stated he wasn't pressured for January, for the tax returns. They haven't indicted or charged Trump or arrested him for anything because they're maniacs who just are absolutely, they have such contempt and disdain for Trump. They disown lifelong friends. Or like family. You're talking about people who are in a cult. Okay, the cult mentality is not Trump Republicans. It's Democrats. When you have to have your political ideology bolstered by late night and social media algorithms and every conceivable advantage, even Major League Baseball, and still half the country doesn't listen to you, you're in a cult. Anyway, give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now to this channel. Be here at 7 p.m. tonight. And subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. I think I don't know if it's gonna I don't know if it's gonna make anybody money because I'm not interested in making anybody money. I'm interested in letting people know that there's an impending disaster taking place. It's probably best to save money in any way you can. Save money every month in a savings account. If you need to take profits off the table from any profits you've made in Bitcoin or stocks or whatever, I think you should do so. And just save it in cash. You say, oh, inflation. You know what? You can always buy. Unfortunately, there will be businesses going out of business, unfortunately, because of Biden's economy and the stock market crash. You can still, with inflation, there's also moments of deflation or opportunities that present themselves because of deflation. And so you're going to still be able to take advantage of things. Especially even with inflation, you do need money for a rainy day. And if you have that savings for a rainy day, you will be thankful. Because if, God forbid, your paper wealth turns to zero, at least if you take some profits off the table and put it in a savings account every month, every week from here on out, it might do you very well. It might be very good for you. Also, if you're retiring the next year, in my humble view, if you're retiring in the next year or even a year and a half or even 2 years, but especially within the next year, in my humble view, you have no business being in the stock market at all. If you can get out of, I'm not telling you what to do. If I were retiring in a year, I'd get out of everything, put it in cash, and just, protect myself from a potential market crash. And if H.A. Goodman is wrong and stocks go up, okay, then at least you'll have all your principal, all the money you've made. And if you're retiring in a year, what is the point of risking a stock market crash that I'm telling you is going to happen? Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.